A Texas-sized tip-off, the Cubbies are still cursed, and we go full noodle arm next on College Crossfire.
Where the hell's the rest of it?
Where's the rest of it?
Taylor's not even here to defend himself.
I'm so excited.
Everybody, and welcome into the exclusive live sports debate show from the 40 Acres. It is College Crossfire. I'm your host, Reese Miller. Glad to be here with you guys, and certainly glad and excited to have you with us. Let's go ahead and meet our incredible panel of sports knowledge, ready to battle it out tonight. Getting ready back to go. Jessica Robinson, first win last week, your first appearance. Let me tell you, no one has ever won their first two appearances, but you got a shot to do that tonight.
I'm excited to be here. Let's see what we can do.
Okay, all right. I like the confidence there. Katerina Biancardi, a veteran now in her second year. You've won Crossfire before. Looking for what, win number 2?
2, 3, 4. I want to keep guessing.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure we can find the record book. So somebody get on that, so we can call Katerina out. Matt Adams, a veteran as well, ready to bring the fire and the passion. Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Glad to be back. How about you, Reese?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, Matt. So very thoughtful of you guys. Guys, let's get into it. After a week of praise, rejoice, and relaxation for Charlie Strong and the Texas football team, it's time to strap the helmets back up. This Saturday, the Kansas State Wildcats come to Austin for an early 11 a.m. kickoff. Last season, K-State shut out the Longhorns 23-0 and have won 6 of their last 7 games against the Horns, but look very depleted, losing 55-0 in just a dreadful contest last week against Oklahoma. So, guys, who will make the biggest impact for the Longhorns this Saturday, and who really needs to do that in order for them to put together their first winning streak of the season and really beat Kansas State Wildcats? They're 3-point favorites right now. Jessica, we'll start with you.
First off, I think Gerard Hurd, Texas quarterback, is going to have a great time throwing, but I think an even better time running the ball. Also, I think Swoops is going to go out there occasionally. We'll see what he can do, but I'm really excited to see what freshman wide receiver John Burt has to show for this game. He came out against Rice, got his first touchdown, and he's been on fire ever since. And I think it's about time he gets another touchdown, and I'm excited to see what he has to show on this offense.
John Burt's an interesting pick because he did have the long touchdown against Rice, really excelled against California as well with a couple of big plays, but haven't seen many passing yards at all in the last couple of games, only 53 yards against Oklahoma. See if they can improve that against a depleted K-State team. Katerina, what do you think?
All right, Reese, my answer's a little different.
Okay.
But what I'm telling is going to be necessary for this game is the whole team has to show up.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm telling you this, Reese, is because this game is going to be a mental game against Kansas State. I know I've been told that I say that everybody, it's a mental game, who wants it badly, da-da-da-da, but this game is mental, and it's because we have something to, Texas has something to prove, and Kansas State also has something to prove. Kansas State just got blown out by Oklahoma, and a few weeks ago we got blown out by, Texas got blown out by TCU. But this is truly an opportunity for both teams to prove who is going to have get back on their feet and have a winning streak. So this is a mental game, and quarterbacks need to show up, wide receivers need to show up, the defense needs to show up, but it's important that everybody shows up.
Interesting point there. K-State just a few points away from upsets against Oklahoma State, really against TCU. Let those slip out and then fell flat against Oklahoma, so maybe mentality. We've got John Burt, we've got mentality, we've got Matt Adams. What do you think?
So I really love Jessica's pick here. She agrees with me 100%. It's John Burt, and we've talked a lot about Texas needing to be physical with Gerard Hurd in the run game, even Deontay Foreman, being more physical against this Kansas State team. But when you get down to it, the Kansas State, they can't defend receivers very well. TCU took advantage of that with Josh Doxson. Sterling Shepard did that with OU, and then OSU also did the same thing against them. So if Gerard Hurd can open it up with some deep threats to John Burt, that's going to open it up hopefully for not only the running backs catching the ball, but also maybe getting Lorenzo Joe, Marcus Johnson, and even possibly if DeJay Johnson's back, get him going in the mix.
Yeah, word is that he did look better this week in practice. I think that's an interesting point. The strength of this Kansas State team is their run defense. Texas' natural strength is their run offense. See how they can fight that out. Baker Mayfield, 5 touchdown passes in the first half last week against Kansas State. Jessica and Matt, I think those are great picks. Starting us off with some points here. I think passing game is whether Texas ends Saturday early, and since the Horns fans happy headed towards the afternoon, guys, to college football now. It's time to take a step back. Even though it doesn't seem like it, we have hit the midseason mark, and it's our duties as sports journalists to hand out some awards. Leonard Fournette currently leads many Heisman polls, while Ohio State is still the #1 team in the land. So, guys, if the season ended today, who would be your Heisman winner? And we're also going to ask for your best team in the nation. So, Heisman winner, if the season ended today, and best team overall. It doesn't have to be ranked #1 or anything like that, but just your opinion on this. Katerina, we'll start with you.
All right, starting off, Heisman winner is Leonard Fournette. He is a key player to LSU. If he wasn't on the team, LSU would just be a mediocre team. He has scored 14 touchdowns in the past 6 games, and on top of that has over 1,200 yards for 150 carries. If it wasn't for him, LSU would not be where they are today. And so he is my Heisman winner right now if the season ended. And if the season ended right now, best record, blown out by far, is the Baylor Bears. If we stop the season right now, as you said, Baylor Bears would be it. They have, although their season haven't really played as many hard teams, but the end of the stretch is going to be harder. They have one of the best offense in college football, and that would be the national champs today.
Baylor's certainly putting up numbers, but it's hard to clarify them as the #1 team. Their best win may be West Virginia, who we're not sure whether it's a mediocre team or not, but Leonard Fournette certainly an argument for the best player in the country. Matt, what do you think? Best team and Heisman winner?
So I'm going to start off with Heisman winner here. As much as I would love to see Trevon Boykin get it,
right.
It has to be Leonard Fournette right now. You have it. He started off his freshman season, ended on a strong note. He continues that this season. 3 straight over 200-yard games. Last week, over 180 against Florida. He's the one carrying this team right now, and he's one of those college football players like a Bo Jackson that he's a once-in-a-lifetime player. So Leonard Fournette for sure. For best team, I would love to stick with LSU on this one, but I got to go Ohio State Buckeyes right now. And the only reason I'm sticking with Ohio State, they have Urban Meyer. Yes, I know their quarterback situation is shaky, but both Cardell Jones and Barrett, they both have the experience, and they do have more set quarterbacks than even LSU right now.
Ohio State reminds, I think, me a lot of Florida State last year. Maybe better than you at every single position. Maybe not living up to what they are projected to be so far, but of course still the thing that matters, undefeated. Jessica, what's your thoughts on this?
Heisman winner Ezekiel Elliott from Ohio State. He, if not the best, he's definitely one of the greatest running backs right now. He went into the season with the highest rushing yards, and in the past 12 games, he's gotten over 100 rushing yards. And just incredible amount of talent we see from him. And it's not only just him. I think the whole entire team has something to show for this too. They all work together, but he definitely stands out as a Heisman material for sure. And for Team Ohio State, they're 7-0, and they might not be winning. They're winning ugly, but they're winning. And at the end of the day, all that matters is that you win. So I'm going to go with Ezekiel Elliott, and I'm going to go with Ohio State.
All that matters is you win. I think Katerina gets the point here. Baylor, as much as they haven't played anyone, their numbers are ridiculous, and until we see them struggle, you're going to expect them to keep scoring points. Offense projected to be better so far. Leonard Fournette's the best player in the country at this point, guys. It's college basketball now. Just a few short hours ago, Shaka Smart coached his first game on the 40 acres. Granted, it was an inter-squad scrimmage in Gregory Gym, but it was the first time anyone has been able to catch a glimpse of what this Texas team has to offer. The Longhorns' only losses from last season's team that ended in the first round of the NCAA tournament were Miles Turner and Jonathan Holmes, and they've added top recruits like Kerwin Roach and Tevin Mack. Big 12 Media Days this week means the season is right around the corner. So, guys, besides the obvious answer in new coach Shaka Smart, everyone looking forward to the havoc he'll bring. But who or what are you looking most forward to this year from this Texas basketball team? Really just a few weeks away from them stepping in for tip-off. Matt, what do you think?
For me, it starts with this freshman class he's got right now. Kerwin Roach, Eric Davis are the obvious names, but Tevin Mack is definitely a guy to look forward to on this Texas roster. He may not have the athleticism that Roach does, but this Tevin Mack is physical. He definitely has that Shaka Smart mentality. He's going to bang the boards with people, and he will be possibly a, double-figure guy with points and boards. So he's a guy definitely that could carry the load for him.
Tevin Mack certainly played well in the scrimmage this afternoon, according to our TSTV reporters who are there on site, of course, doing a great job. Jessica, what are you looking most forward to?
Definitely Tevin Mack. Of course, the freshman recruiting class looks fabulous, but Tevin Mack definitely stands out. 6'6", small forward. I think he's got great things. Also, DeMarcus Holland, senior, coming back, ready to lead the team. I think he's looking great this season. But I do agree with you. I think Tevin Mack is going to be unbelievable this season. Excited to see what he has to show.
Marcus Holland's an interesting player. Certainly shot well from 3 last season, especially toward the end of the year. See if he can grow. One of the players at Media Day saying this week they're tired of underperforming. See if they can do that with Shaka Smart. Katerina, what do you think?
All right, my answer is the big man, Cameron Ridley. And the reason why I'm telling you that is he is in the best shape of his life. I got the Texas strength coaches and ESPN sources. He is in the best shape of his life, folks. I'm telling you, best shape of his life. He is going to assert in the paint, blocking shots, rebounding, and scoring in there. I'm telling you, he is going to dominate this year. Big man's in shape.
Dominate.
Dominate.
Dominate in Cameron Ridley. Those
Best shape.
those don't
y'all.
seem.
People have said he's been in shape before.
No. I'm telling you.
loses it.
I'm telling you.
So-
You have to remember, he's a McDonald's All-American. He's bound for greatness.
Yeah.
Look how many McDonald's
years
Americans
ago.
we've had.
Hey, it takes time. False. You guys are wrong. I'm telling you.
Right,
Big
you guys
man,
don't have her
ready to go.
sources.
You don't have my sources.
You guys don't have her sources. I'm going with Jessica here. She brought DeMarcus Holland. I think he's maybe the biggest key to Texas' success this season. She's going to take the lead 2-1. Headed into break, 1 round complete, but plenty of time remains. Coming up, we'll get ready for some baseball. Swing away at the NL and ALCS and sling it with Peyton. This is College Crossfire. Welcome back to the show, live sports debate on the 40 acres. It is College Crossfire. Let's take a look at our scoreboard before we get into the action and hit on round 2. Jessica Robinson, defending champ from last week, has the lead right now with 2 points. Katerina and Matt sitting down there with 1, but plenty of time remains, guys. Go ahead and get into round 2. After 5 games in the division series in Major League Baseball, we almost had both series finish in 5 games or less in the championship round. The Cubs have fallen down 3-0 in the NLCS going on right now. They're currently losing in that one. The Royals lost today in that game. It will head back 3-2 heading back to Kansas City. Guys, in each of these series, plenty of individual performances stand out. They're not over yet, but plenty of performances stand out from the bats and the rubber. But who gets the nod for ALCS and NLCS MVPs from this series? Again, they're not totally over yet, but to this point, we'll start with there, and we'll start with Jessica.
So for the ALCS, I'm going to have to go with Alcides Escobar. He's been hitting over 500 for the Royals, and I think he stands out the most. We're going to have to wait a little later to see exactly how this is going to play out, but I do think he stands out the most right now. For NL, I'm going to go with, there's a few, but Daniel Murphy. I think he's just doing a great job, and what he's doing has not been done since 2004 with the Astros. So I think him going out, he's tied for 14th best, with 14 other people for 7th best home runs. He's hit 6 in the postseason, and I think he just stands out. I'm going to go with him for sure.
Well, 5 straight games in the postseason with home runs will certainly do that. Great choices there. Katerina, what say you?
Exact same choices, Reese. The reason why Escobar has sparked the line and the front lineup for the Royals and has been what they've needed. And also Murphy, it's hard to go against a guy who has home runs in these past 3 games, and he's come through and they needed him, and exact same reasons. Fantastic.
All right, great. We've got 2 picks of the same here. Matt, I know you like to bring a little upset here. What do you have for me?
So I'm sticking with Murphy for the Mets. Right now, without him, with his 5 home runs in 7 games through the playoffs, I don't know where they would be. Now, great, they've had great pitching, so that also adds a factor. But for the Royals, I'm going to go with Alex Rios.
Ooh.
And the reason I like him, he's got a chip on his shoulder having been let go by Toronto, struggled with the White Sox, but he's back here. His batting percentage has gone up. He did have a home run in the last game. He's just he has that underdog in him, and he's really letting it show on this stage against the Toronto Blue Jays when it matters the most to get the Royals back to the World Series.
I like that point. I think no one, batting from the 9-hole in this lineup, no one expected anything, and he's been one of their best offensive
go
players.
from 250 to now over 300
right.
is pretty impressive.
With power. Hit
Yeah,
only 6 home
absolutely.
runs last season with the Rangers, has a couple in the postseason already, and one of the reasons they're still alive in it, heading back to Kansas City, guys. For the Wild's 7th inning in Toronto, the bat and flip, the Avengers, and the kids in Houston. There have been plenty of storylines in the postseason so far. It began with the battle in the Bronx, and it may just end up in the World Series in Queens. In your opinion, what has been the most compelling storyline so far this postseason? You got just a ton to choose from. It's been great. It's not over yet, but Katerina, what's been the best storyline from this postseason?
I think the best storyline is the fact these 4 teams combined have not won a World Series in over 100 years, like over 180 years. And you kind of laugh at it, but that's something that's unique between all of them combined. Granted that the Cubs make up over 100, but it's still a special thing to see these teams competing because all of them have something that they want to bring it back home. And it's just really cool to see these teams compete for something so special, like the World Series, obviously.
Right. Certainly, besides the Royals last season, no one has been there in really a long time, since the early 2000s. With the Mets, Matt, what do you think? What's the best storyline so far?
For me, it's been watching a lot of these young guys stepping up. I mean, you have teams here right now with the Cubs, with the Mets that, they haven't been there forever. You're used to seeing the Cardinals or the Yankees or the Giants or the Red Sox. You're just used to seeing those guys in the World Series right now. So to see guys like Chris Bryant, even Matt Harvey, a young guy for the Mets, just seeing all these young guys and to know that these are guys we're going to be watching for the next 10 years, 10, 15 years possibly. To see the dominance right now, it's exciting to see.
Sure, especially from the Astros, the pitching rotation with the Mets, the kids from the Cubbies. It's certainly a bright future in Major League Baseball. Jessica, what's the best postseason storyline?
Definitely seeing the Stros and the Cubbies come. Like Houston, it's been 10 years for them since they've seen a postseason play. However, the Cubbies, it's been over, like you were talking, like 100+ years. Like, it was nice to see them, both of them show out. It's refreshing to see all these new, not new teams, but they've been there for a while, but now coming back with new strength, seeing what they have. It's really fun to watch. Really
107 years, guys. Just so you know, October 21st, 2015, of course, the projected date. The Cubs were supposed to sweep the Marlins. Turns out they might get swept. According to Back to the Future, but there's still time. That game going on right now, guys. Katerina's getting at the point. I think just all 4 teams that are left here, no one really expected them, maybe besides the Royals, to go anywhere, and teams that we're not used to seeing. There's no Cardinals, no Red Sox, no Yankees in it. So Katerina gets the point, headed into the last question, round 2. From the impressive arms of the postseason, now to an arm that's regressing at a rather rapid rate. While the Broncos eked past the Browns this past week and remain atop the AFC at 6-0, they may have a quarterback issue. Peyton Manning has now thrown for 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions while posting the lowest completion percentage and quarterback rating since his rookie year. Ultimately, guys, do the Broncos have a real issue here? And could Peyton even do more harm to this team than he might good? I mean, this has been a rather quick downward spiral here that we're talking about. I certainly... it's not fun to talk about stars that we love decline, but this is an issue here. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a big issue for the Broncos going forward. When you think about where they were 3 years ago when they got Payton, not even sure if he was going to be able to play, well, he still had the arm, and he had the talent with Decker, with Demaryius Thomas, Julius Thomas, and that offense was lighting it up. This go-around, yes, he has Demaryius Thomas. Yes, he's got Emmanuel Sanders as wide receivers. But his arm isn't there, and they're trying to rely too much on the run game with C.J. Anderson or Ronnie Hillman, and going forward, that's just not something that they can do. Yes, I know their defense has done well and kept them in games, but when you get up into teams like the Patriots, it's going to be tough to get past them for a win.
Certainly a rough time now with Peyton regressing as the defense seems to be getting even better. Jessica, what do you think about Peyton?
You know what? I think Peyton is going to be in the Hall of Fame. I think he's a leader. He will be. He is a leader, and regardless of what happens, he's been in the sport for it seems like forever. He has plenty of experience, and I think leadership is more important. Of course, winning's important, yes, of course. But his leadership carries out through all the players. They all watch him. Of course, 87, Eric Decker moved to the Jets, and they've had all these different things going on. However, Peyton Manning is one of a kind. He's a leader, and he drives people, encourages them to succeed, and he knows a lot. So I think it's important for him to still be there, and he rocks. Peyton Manning rocks.
Okay, historically certainly has rocked. Maybe not rocking as much this year, but certainly the intangibles still there. Maybe smartest QB in the game. Katerina finished out here.
Well, he's not Tom Brady, but that's beside the point. I just think that it's not a bright future if Manning continues the way that he started the season. However, he is a veteran and he is aging, and he is going to have to learn how to adjust to aging. But I think you've got to give him a little bit more time. I know we're already in the season, but let's see how he competes against these top-ranked teams, and then we'll go from there.
I think Matt's getting the point here, guys. I think that Peyton Manning, while he's been great for so long, this is an issue moving forward with an offense that is going to, I think, really maybe stink it up in the postseason. But, guys, plenty of time to go, and we will certainly see. We all love Peyton, except maybe Katerina. 2 rounds are finished, but we still have to settle bragging rights. And who comes back next week on Rapid Fire? Thanks for keeping it tuned to College Crossfire. You're certainly be glad that you did, as it's time for the ever so popular Rapid Fire about to blaze your direction. But before it does, let's take a look at the scoreboard one final time before we get going. Jessica Robinson with 2, Katerina Biancardi also with a deuce. But Matt, my man down there, has the tray going up into the final round here. Guys, just so everyone knows how Rapid Fire works, you jump in at any time. I'll scream out the question, and they are worth 2 points. Points now doubled. And let's get into it, guys. Seattle Seahawks running back Marshawn Lynch had a very special treat this week. Starbucks, founded in Seattle, debuted a Beast Mode Frappuccino. Starbucks says it's a double mocha frap with mint, cream, and protein powder with whipped cream and a little bit of purple berry drizzle and matcha powder sprinkle, guys. Marshawn said, quote, he would get buff on it by taking it before he worked out. So, guys, it's time to get your Starbucks coffee creators out there and design a new concoction for the coffee company.
I'm surprised he didn't just do Skittles for it, personally.
I'm sure there's this element of Skittles.
But I'm sure the NFL will get mad at them for that, the beast
So
mode.
is this for an athlete?
For anybody. Anybody you
anybody.
want. Yep, just get creative with your Starbucks drink.
Okay.
Multiple ingredients.
Okay, so I'm going to stick with sports. And for each team in the NFL, there's going to be the coloring dye is going to match whatever drink you want to go with your, it's going to be food dye. You won't even taste the difference. It's going to be fantastic. And then along with it, the cup comes with your little team name on it and the logo. And
They already make those.
No, this comes with every single darn order. And on top of that, it's going to have lots of whipped cream, whatever you want in it. It just goes.
So I got out of that whipped cream, food coloring, and team-colored cups.
And no. The food coloring matches the team.
Okay.
Whatever drink you want.
Sure.
Whatever one you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
I have a new spin. So the cups, of course, matching cups coordinating with the team.
You
However,
can't add on my idea. It's your own.
You know what? Forget matching.
Tension, I like it.
Sparkles. 100% sparkle cups. Flash the team. It's sparkly.
I think you
know
guys
what you're
missed the
drinking.
point of the ingredients inside the drink.
Here's the
We're not talking about cups here.
I haven't even got to talk yet.
Yeah.
We're talking about style. Style and
Style's
substance
important.
meshed together.
Okay, so
It's not important on my show.
Okay, so I'm not worried about the cup right now. I just want to give them some ice cream. Let's get some Dr. Pepper in there. Let's give them the Dr. Pepper float. It's great.
What else is in there besides the
know
Dr.
We
Pepper?
can throw some chocolate syrup in there. We can throw some
I like
Skittles.
this. Keep giving me ingredients.
I really like
Come on,
Three
go on.
Musketeers, so I want Three Musketeers in there.
You know what?
I don't think I want to throw any meat in here. That's just gross. So we'll leave it at this.
All right, you got me. That absolutely sold me, guys. I'm sorry, but you guys gave me cups. I can't deal
No,
with
sir,
cups.
you didn't even understand what I said.
Matt gets a point for Three Musketeer, Snicker, Dr. Pepper greatness. So Matt gets 2 points there, guys. Some people have imaginary friends. Some choose to get married, and some buy pet monkeys. Injured Dallas Cowboys receiver Des Bryant recently purchased Dallas Bryant, the monkey he calls his new best friend. So, guys, the question is, if you were to buy a new friend in the form of an animal, what type of animal would it be, and what would be its name?
I have to get a tiger. And
That's awesome.
for the Tigers' name, probably call it Petey. Pete Maravich there.
Okay, Pete Maravich. Petey the Tiger. All right, Petey the Tiger.
Oh,
for
well,
Matt.
I'm sorry, but a lion is actually the king of the jungle, so.
That's why Detroit's losing,
Yeah, but it's not about the mascot. It's about the lions being
go.
so fantastic. I mean, hello, who wouldn't want to be a lion?
That's why they went on 16.
Okay, you know what? It's a lion. All right, the reason why it's a lion, Reese, is because lions
Yeah.
are not only the king of the jungle, but you get it as a little baby cub, and it is adorable. You can cuddle with it, and his name is going to be Simba. Who doesn't love Simba?
Okay.
Who doesn't love
kinda-
the Lion
okay.
King and
Gotta
Simba?
copy there. All right, Jessica, what do
Okay,
you got for
it's
us?
not
so
Puppy.
these are great animals and all, but I'm gonna go with a narwhal because some people don't know that narwhals exist, and they do. And I would go with Norris, Chuck Norris, because what a better combination between Chuck Norris than a narwhal and Chuck Norris. The best combination you can come up with.
All right, you sold me. Chuck Norris, the Narwhal for 2
You're good.
points. That's pretty solid,
Okay,
guys.
that's great.
Tigers, Lions are kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of cats and dogs, guys. So, guys, one last question. Former NBA All-Star and member of the Fab Five, Chris Webber, is now hitting the books instead of the court. Webber will be teaching a master's documentary film class at Wake Forest College. So, guys, the question is, what athlete would be your dream professor, and what subject do we teach? But yeah, Dirk and German from our camera guy Josh back there. What do you guys have?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Got the we got a Bill Belichick back there.
Yeah, I
Caden's
heard-
gonna get the win back there
Yeah,
as
I,
it stands right now.
All right. No.
LeBron and acting. These are gold.
Yeah, those are gold,
Back
man.
there.
Okay, you know what? They're not on the show. All right, let's do Tony Romo. You know why? Because him and Dez are gonna work together. They're gonna be co-teachers. I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
why. They're gonna teach you how to be boys. Because we them boys, you know.
You know,
Kevin's sucking up there. So.
I'm not
Matt,
sucking up.
give me the win here. We gotta.
I love Shaquille O'Neal and his entertainment, so I would love to see him teach some kind of music or film class. I would
Okay.
see him rap. I could
Okay,
take
a
a rap
Shaq
course
rap
with,
class. That's awesome.
You know what? Peyton Manning rocks, and I'm gonna have to go with a leadership class by Peyton Manning because his
That's
leadership
lame. No one wants a leadership class. No one wants a leadership
We
class.
get
Matt
boys.
takes the win for Shaq in a rap course. He's coming back next week, guys. But, Matt, I'm sorry to tell you, instead of FaceTime this week, we want to take one moment to send out our thoughts to Bevo 14. The Longhorn Steer mascot of the University of Texas died in his sleep last Friday after recently being diagnosed with cancer. Bevo 14, otherwise known as Sunrise Studley, was 13 years old. Bevo began his tenure in 2004 and over 11 years saw 2 national championships played. And the final game played while he was alive was an upset victory over rival Oklahoma. Sunrise Studley died peacefully in his sleep on his ranch. Guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for Week 8 in the fall of semester in 2015. Catch us every Wednesday night live at 9 p.m. Catch up with on social media at College X-Fire and tune into TSTV every day for everything on Longhorn Sports. That's going to do it. Thanks to everybody in studio, Master Control, and we'll see you next week. I'm Reese Miller. Good night, everybody.